Okay, so I've looked at an equation, a table, a graph. The other thing you could look at slope or is between 2 points. So they give you a coordinate pair and they tell you to find the slope. So again, it's still the same thing as change in y over the change in x. Change in y over the change in x. Okay, in a coordinate pair, the first one's always x, the second one is y. Okay, the first one is x, the second one is y. To remember that, I just think of the alphabet. X comes before y, so the first one is always x. So that's x and this is y. All right, the change in y. So how did I go from 4 to 12? What did I do to go from 4 to 12? I'm adding, right? So I added something. How many did I add to go from 4 to 12? I'm going to add 8. Okay. So my change in y is positive 8. My change in x, how do I go from 0 to 6? Okay, how do I go from 0 to 6? I'm going to add, because I'm going bigger, to 6 and then add in 6. So my change is positive 6. A positive divided by positive is a positive. And then you got to simplify this. So what number goes into 8 and 6? 2. 2 goes into 8 4 times, and then it goes into 6 3 times. So my final answer is 4 over 3. That's my slope. Okay, you always simplify. If you do not simplify, you get your answer wrong. Now, that's the new way that you guys are probably learning it. The way you guys have always learned it is using the slope formula. But I'm going to show you this way real quick because it's so much faster for me. I don't know. I like it so much better. And then I'll show you your way, okay? So again, you identify the change in y. Change in y over change in x. So this is x, this is y, x, and then y. So how did I go from 7 to negative 1? I subtracted something. How many did I subtract? I subtract 8. Okay, so my change in y is negative 8. And then how do I go from negative 2 to positive 2? So I start on negative side, then ended up positive, so I'm going to add something. And then how many do I add? I add 4.
Is a listening check, color in that positive 4.
All right, so I add 4, so that's positive 4. Then you have a negative divided by a positive is a negative. 8 divided by 4 is 2, so my slope is negative 2. Now we're going to use the way formula you've always used, and the good thing with this formula is also given in your formula sheet. So if this is easier for you, please go ahead and do it that way. So first thing you have to do is you have to label y1, y2, x1, y2. So it doesn't matter which way you start as long as you stay consistent. So let's just say this is 1 and this is 2. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. And then all you're going to do is plug it into the formula. So m equals y2. What's y2? Negative 1. Minus y1. What's y1? Positive 7. Over x2. What's x2? Positive 2. Minus x1. What's x1? Negative 2. Okay, so let's take care of this signs. What is this going to do? Because we can't have two signs next to each other. This is a good thing. So this is going to be negative 1 minus 7. And this is going to be 2 plus 2. All right, negatives are made in negatives. So what's going to happen? More negatives. So it's negative 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. And again, we have a fraction that we can simplify. Negative divided by negative is a negative. And then 8 divided by 4 is 2. So you see, you get to the same exact answer. So you can use the formula that's given to you in the formula sheet, or you can do the change in y over the change in x, whichever one's easier for you. All right. Couple of last things that I want to mention about slope. You're always going to look like you're reading from the left to the right. And what you're going to picture is you're going to picture like a guy skiing or something. And he's always going to start on the left-hand side. Okay, he's always going to start on the left-hand side. If he is skiing going left to right, so left to right, he's skiing which way this way? Which direction? Up, right? So this slope is increasing. So this is an increasing slope. And increasing is going to be positive. Right? So imagine my skier guy. Look at another example. Imagine my skier guy. He goes from left to right. So always start him off on the left-hand side. So he's over here now.
This is a listening check. Underline the word increasing.
Okay. He's over here now. He's skiing and he's going left to right. So if he's going to ski, he's going to ski what? Down. So this is decreasing. and anything down is negative. So this is a negative slope, that is a positive slope. All right, again, left to right, we put my skier on the left-hand side. So here's my skier. Okay, it's going left to right. What's happening here? He's flat, right? It's going to be very difficult for him to ski, to move, right? So this one is a horizontal line, and that's called, so a horizontal is going to be a zero slope. There is no slope, right? A zero slope. So it's not increasing, it's not decreasing, it's zero. All right, what about this last example from left to right? So we'll start him off on the left. So he starts over here.
This is a listening check. Circle the word 0.
Now, what's going to happen if he moves? If he moves, he's going to fall, right? And so if he falls, he's going to splat. Okay, his body is going to boom, which means he's no longer going to be a person, and we call that undefined. All right, because he's been in 1,000 different pieces. So a vertical slope is undefined. Okay, all right, let's take a look at steepness. Steepness is just like how flat or how more vertical a line is. The steeper it is, the greater the slope. So if you look at this line right here, okay, guess I could actually, I'll just use a ruler. Okay, the more horizontal, the flatter, the more vertical, the steeper. So right now, is it very steep? No. So we're going to say this is not steep. All right, now we've moved it more like this. What can you say? That it's getting steeper. So this is steeper. Okay, now in comparison to that, what am I doing more? I'm making it more vertical, so this is very steep. So once again, the more horizontal it is, the flatter it is, the more steeper it gets, the more vertical it gets, the very steeper it gets. And that's pretty much it. That's everything you need to know about slope.